Hello friends, welcome again. Today we will study about the human brain meninges. As we know that human all activities are controlled by nervous system, and nervous system is further divided into two compartments. These are central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. So brain is included under the central nervous system. Central nervous system is very important because it controls the human all activities and it coordinates with the human activities with the help of endocrine system. So today we will study about the human brain meninges. So let's start with the meninges. So friends, here in this diagram you can see that this is brain and these are the meninges around the human brain. What is the meaning of meninges? Meninges are basically the layers which are present around the brain. That's why these are called brain meninges. And these meninges are very important because these meninges protect the human brain from any injury or any shock. These meninges are also called meninges. Friends, we know that human brain is protected under the skull. So what is the skull? Skull basically play very important function to protect the human brain because this skull cover the brain, and these skulls have cranial bones. These cranial bones are 8 in number and have facial bones which are 14 in number. These cranial bone form the cranium for the brain. Cranium is basically the brain box which is present around the human brain and protect the human brain from any type of injury. And these facial bones are from the front part of the human skull. So skull also play very important role because it cover the human brain. And outside the brain, we can say that if we assume that this is the brain, then outside the brain and inside the skull, assume that this is a skull and this is brain. So outside the brain and inside the skull, these three meninges are present. These meninges are very important and we study about all these meninges one by one. So first of all, you can see that this is brain box. You can see that this layer which is present outside the human brain is known as brain box are basically made up of 8 cranial bones, and these cranial bones are arranged in a plate like manner and form the brain box. So friends, this brain box protect the brain. That's why this is called brain box. Why it protect the brain? Because friends, brain is a very soft and delicate structure, and it is walnut like in shape, and this brain have wrinkled surface. We know that human brain have not have smooth surface, it have wrinkled surface. And this brain, which is very delicate and very important organ of human body, so that's why it is necessary to protect the brain. So brain is protected by the brain box, and this brain box is formed by the 8 cranial bone. These cranial bones are arranged in plate like manner, and these plate like manner form the human brain box which protect the human brain. And these formed outer covering of brain which is called cranium, and it protect the brain. Now we discuss the meninges or brain meninges one by one. First of all, we will discuss about the Duramater, you can see here, this is the outer layer of human brain, and this is very hard layer of human brain. That's why it is called hard mother in Latin languages. It is basically made up of fibrous connective tissue, and this fibrous connective tissue made it very hard and very tough. That's why this Duramater is very thick and tough layer, and it provide protection to human brain. So under the Duramater and outside the Piamater, another or second meninx is present which is known as arachnoid membrane. So friends, outer membrane is Duramater and inner meninges are known as arachnoid membrane, and inside the arachnoid arachnoid is a middle layer, and inside the arachnoid membrane another layer is present which is known as Piamater, and all these three meninges protect the human brain. So friends, Duramater is a hard layer and arachnoid is middle layer, and it is a thin layer. You can see this is the arachnoid membrane. You can see the structure of this arachnoid membrane. It is a spider web like structure. One important thing about the arachnoid membrane is that it is present only in mammalia class. It is not present in any another class like Pisces, amphibians, reptiles, and aves. It is only present in mammalian. That's why this is a very peculiar feature of human or mammalian class. It is also made up of connective tissue, and it is a spider web like structure, thin layer or middle manix. Now come towards the Piamater. Piamater is called soft mother in Latin language, and it is very soft or delicate layer around the human brain. At some places you can see that this is the Piamater and this is human brain, and this Piamater some at some places embedded in the brain tissue. That's why it is very important layer of important meninges of human brain. Now friends, you can see some spaces around these membrane meninx. You can see that this is known as a subdural space. Why it is called subdural space? Because it is present beneath the duramater. You can see that this space is known as a subdural space. It is present between the duramater and arachnoid membrane, and it is present only with fluid, not cerebrospinal fluid. It is filled only with fluid, and it is a subdural space. You can also see this another space which is present beneath the arachnoid membrane and above the Piamater. This space is known as subarachnoid space, and it is present between arachnoid and Piamater. Friends, this subarachnoid space is filled with cerebrospinal fluid. This cerebrospinal fluid is very important fluid, and it provide a protection to human brain also. And this cerebrospinal fluid drainage outside through foramen of medulla oblongata. We will discuss about the medulla oblongata in the structure of human brain. Friends, you can also see we all know that human brain are made up of 4 ventricles. Assume that if this is the ventricles of human brain, then you can see some structure around the human brain ventricles. This structure is known as ependymal cells. These ependymal cells are very important cells. We know that human brain is made up of approximately 10 billion neurons, and more than 10 times of neuroglial cells are present. Neuroglial cells are mainly 4 types, and epidermal cells is one type of neuroglial cells. These are ciliated cells, and these are simple columnar cells. As I said that these are ciliated cells, that means that apical surface of ependymal cells have cilia or microvilli. Friends, we can see here that modification of these ependymal cells, these are the ependymal cells which are present around the ventricles of human brain. So these ependymal cells, when modified, then they form choroid plexus, and these choroid plexus produce cerebrospinal fluid. This cerebrospinal fluid is filled inside the subarachnoid space. That's why cerebrospinal fluid is present, provided or is produced by these ependymal cells. So ependymal cells are very helpful for the production of these cerebrospinal fluid, and these apical surface which have microvilli, they help in circulation of this cerebrospinal fluid. So the friends, these ependymal cell line the ventricles of brain and cavity of the spinal cord. That's why it is very important cells in the human brain. So friends, from this diagram we conclude that human brain is very important structure and very delicate or soft structure, and it should be necessary to protect it. That's why a brain box present around the human brain, and inside the brain box 3 meninges which are very important: Duramater, Arachnoid and Piamater are present. Piamater is a primitive meninges which is the only layer present around the brain of Pisces. That's why it is a primitive layer. So these are 3 meninges: Duramater, Arachnoid and Piamater. Arachnoid is a very important because it is only mammalian character. It is not present in any another class. And then some species are present inside the human brain, that is subarachnoid space and subdural space. Subarachnoid space and subdural space play very important role in protection of human brain, and ependymal cells around the human brain ventricles and cavity of spinal cord play a very important role in production of cerebrospinal fluid. So this was all about the human brain meninges. So friends, I hope you like this video. Thank you.